Can you hear me, Brian?
No, I got nothing.
Can you hear me now?
No,
Can you hear me now?
I hear you. There you are. There you are. There
Oh, here
I'm
we
on
are.
two. I'm on two.
All right, you're on 2.
Oh, let me drink.
3, 2, 1.
It's the Stock Podcast. Sound. What's up? This is Keith Kelfis with the Untrapped Podcast. Man, we got Brian Fullerton. Brian's Lawn Maintenance on YouTube. The man, the myth, the legend. He's here.
Are we actually recording already?
Yeah, we're already recording. I mean, we're cranking.
Keith just comes in hot, dude. I'm drinking my energy drink. I'm like, I'm on video. What are we doing?
Bro. So, fist bump. What's up,
dude?
Brian Fullerton here in my basement studio, the Digital Man Cave. Dude, we got cameras, we got lights, man. We just did an episode on Brian's podcast, and it was awesome. And we're doing a back-to-back combo here, one on yours, one on mine. What's your podcast?
It's going to be called the Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast. I don't know when this is going out, but it's a secret for another 2 weeks. But by the time this probably comes out, it'll be rocking and roll with, it'll come out the end of February, and then hopefully we have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but it'll be called Fullerton Unfiltered. And the idea is just to literally have casual conversations with other guys, you know, business owners, entrepreneurs, people in the green industry, of course, but it's an entirely different take on Brian Fullerton. Like YouTube, I always call is like really pretty, really polished, really edited. You know, it's like a highlight reel. But dude, I want to hear people's stories. Like I want to hear the behind the scenes, people's struggle, victory, you know, just real life, real topics, real conversations. So the idea is like, you don't really put that kind of content on YouTube. It just doesn't really do well. You know what I mean? But on podcasting, it's kind of like the forum for it. So my idea is to have all these kind of conversations behind the scenes on the podcast. I'm really excited. That's going to be like my new big pet project for 2020.
Nice, bro. And what an awesome episode it was. And now you're here on the Untrapped Podcast.
Yeah.
So right now, at the time of this show, we're down season. It's winter, plowing snow.
Right.
And, I mean, we're literally halfway through the winter. And so you guys are doing crushing it in lawn care all summer. You're making YouTube videos, but now you're plowing snow. And
We're trying to. We haven't had that busy of a winter. It was pretty late December, pretty late January. February's, we had like 5 or 6 snow events in like the first 10, 12 days, you know, and you wouldn't know because you're on tour. You're in Orlando, Florida or whatever and living the dream, you know, looking at 80 degree weather and palm trees. And Liz and I were there like 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, you want to go back? Because Keith and Ashley look like they're having a good time. So that's the idea.
you just posted, I saw on my Instagram, you posted a video. You like smashed into a garage door or something with your plow.
Yeah.
Like, I've plowed snow 15 years, and I know, like, your sensory acuity, you get so good that you can get so close, and you'll get out and you're like, yeah, I dropped that bitch like 2 inches from hitting the garage. How did you hit it?
Dude, okay, so this will probably get blown out of proportion, but it was a tap-roo. Okay, it was just the, you know, the rubber snow guard deflector that is on the front of the plow. It came down and it kissed the garage. No dent, thankfully, no scrape. Thankfully, had a little household cleaner, fantastic, you know, 409 or whatever. And I bought it at my gas station. I was freaking out, to be honest with you, bro. I was like, oh no, the thing finally happened. You know, the inevitable. Like I'm out of business. You know, this customer's gonna freak out on me. And now I'm gonna put this on YouTube, and people are probably gonna, you know, like all that stuff. And it was actually really blown out of proportion. But I milked it. I had to make a YouTube video because, you know, who hasn't gotten afraid of hitting a garage door with their plow? But it was just a little kiss, little tap. Customer was totally cool, totally fine. Thank God. And you know, life goes on. But yeah, it's been a decent little 2 weeks plowing snow. We've put a couple bucks in the bank, thankfully. Well, invoiced a couple bucks, and hopefully everybody pays their bill, and you know how that goes. So
Nice. Yeah, and plowing snow, dude, there was literally, it was like 18 inches of snow. I was plowing an apartment complex, and right at the center of the main drag, the blacktop dipped.
Ooh.
And there was a manhole, but it was a convex one that sticks up.
Oh.
And the snow was so heavy I couldn't even get through it, so I put it in V mode. I was going like 15 miles per hour in V mode, making my initial clear. And the front of the V, dude, I hit the manhole cover so hard that the truck stopped. The ass end of the truck popped up in the air. It blew the whole back windshield out.
Holy
and I
crap.
smashed my head on. Dude, I totaled an entire truck.
For
And
real.
I couldn't turn my neck or head or anything.
Not good.
I had to go see a chiropractor and shit. I just like
Was it back at the old company
um
that you were working for? One of the national landscape companies or whatever? Or was
yeah, this was a company that I was working at before.
Oh, okay.
I think this is when I first started my business and I was doing snow plowing, subcontracting.
Oh, okay.
Another time, that's what, like I quit plowing snow
It's a grind, bro.
because
Yeah.
I was I had other.
I remember
talk about that.
I remember you saying you said this like on Instagram or a YouTube video a couple days ago because or maybe it was like a live stream. Somebody was asking you, "Why don't you plow snow?" And you're like, "Dude, because it sucks. Because you're on call. You can't leave. You can't go 2 minutes down the road without it, turning into, oh, we got 1.5 inches of snow. You're gonna come out here and do my driveway, do my sidewalks." And it's totally true. Like if we didn't make the money we make, there's no way I do snow. I mean, I've always talked to Liz. I'm like, hey, we could always subcontract this whole thing out. We're not rich, but like we don't overly need it. It's all extra credit. But it helps pay the bills and makes going in the spring that much easier, obviously. But it's tough, man. And we don't even salt. I have a subcontractor that salts. But if you take plowing and salting, dude, you're going 40, 50 times out there in 90 days. It means every other day you're going out there doing salting or snow, which doesn't sound like it's not bad because you're working, dude. It's a business, right? You're making money, but it's not like mowing grass where it's like fun, it's nice, it's predictable. It's like you're out in the sun. It's like it's 10 degrees out, the wind's whipping, it sucks, it's brutal. You're out 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning,
Dude, I
never sleeping.
there's 90% of snow I love doing because I do Joe Rogan podcast. I even dive into the conspiracy podcast. You can have conversations and catch up with your buddies who plow snow at 3 a.m.
It's so weird.
and get out and make some yellow snow.
I'm I'm talking to my friend Mike Bedell at 4 in the morning for an hour and a half. Another kid, Alex, like some of the people that listen to the podcast, like they're all out hanging out. They're shooting me messages on Instagram. They're getting same snowstorm in Chicago, same snowstorm in Ohio that we get blanketed with. And I'm like, dude, what are you up to? Like, there's a guy Dylan Solo Cuts Landscaping. He called me. We talked for like an hour and a half at I don't know, like 5:36 in the morning because he's got a job where he's currently delivering like food, like Cisco or whatever. And they deliver food from like 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. And he texted me at 5:30. He's like, dude, I'm still working today, man. Like we got 2 inches over here. How much you guys got? I'm like 6 inches. I'm like, dude, call me. Like, he's got his Bluetooth in, right? So we do the whole deal and we're hanging out. And so we have like this hour and a half long, just do really super deep, really real conversation. And he calls me, he goes, ever expect to have a conversation at 5:30 in the morning? I go, you kidding me? I just got off the phone with somebody else an hour ago. so when you're plowing snow, it's a different world out there. You got to be a little crazy to do snow, just to be honest with you.
And we can't do it now. We're all over the country. Like
Right.
I mean, literally, we're gone in 3 different states just this month. So it's hard. And my business isn't like Stan Genetics business where he can do it remotely.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a long time, a lot of commitment to get it to that point. So,
well, there's I know you went to Jason Creel's event because Jason Creel asked me like probably like 6 months ago. He had his Lawn Care Life conference about a month ago at this time, and maybe not even. And he's like, Brian, can we get you in for speaking at my event again? Jason Creel's Southern, if you guys don't know. He's an amazing dude. I'm not making fun, but he's a Southern boy. And he's like, Brian, we'd love to have you in. And if you want to speak on stage, it's an open invite, blank check. We'd love to have you in. And I told him, I'm like, well, dude, like it's last time he did his conference, it was early November, right? And so it wasn't snowing. And so this time it was like mid-January. And I'm like, well, 25% chance I ain't going to be able to make it because, it's going to be snowing. He goes, oh, well, I can't really bank on that. I go, I will be your backup if something falls through because I'll pay the insurance on the flight and I can be there in 24 hours. But I'm like, you need to get my boy Keith Kalfas. He's like, yeah, I know Keith. He's like, I've never really got to like talk to him one-on-one. Is he a nice guy? And that's my Southern accent, by the way. And I go, dude, get Keith there, man. And by the way, all the reports came in because Jason told me, I had him on my podcast, that you stole the show. Everybody else that was there did a great job, but he said everybody overwhelmingly, I guess he sends out a, you don't know this, but he sent out a feedback report, like a survey, and everybody said like, who's your favorite person or topic? And I guess like overwhelmingly people said you, which, spoiler alert, no surprise there. So good job.
oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, here, send the $20 check in the mail, right? For the shout out. Oh, we're live streaming. Wow.
Yeah, we're on the Untrapped podcast right now and live streaming on Instagram Live. We have Brian's Lawn Maintenance. And guys, if you want to see the show,
Wow, I'm on the big screen behind you.
yeah, on the big screen, gotta just type in the Untrapped podcast on YouTube, and that'll all be on the video on that channel. Or you can listen to the podcast. Just type in Untrapped podcast. We're live streaming on
This guy's got this
Instagram,
Joe Rogan studio going on. There's TVs, there's monitors. I don't even know where to look right now. I feel like Will Ferrell. I don't know what to do with my hands, and it's pretty funny, dude. When you get two nerds like us together in the basement, we're just having fun. So this is good.
But so we can get back to the podcast, I'm going to turn this off. I just want to say what's up, guys. We just did an episode on Brian's podcast as well.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, it'll be out.
2 weeks. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Yeah, dog.
Love you guys.
All right, peace.
Cool. Well, this is cool, man. You got this whole setup down here. I wish we could turn the audio, turn the video around, like point out, because there's so much stuff going on down here. Like, you got this like studio thing. All I'm looking at is like dollar signs. I'm like, that's $200. That's a cute camera. Like, that's a sweet camera. This is going on, and you got this whole like production, bro. Me, I got like my little board. I carry it like under my like a little trapper keeper, walking into your house. I'm like, hey man, I'm here to do a podcast. I look like Charlie Brown out there walking around. He's like, this house, come over here. I'm like, I'm just like wandering around aimlessly. So
You're a beast, man.
I don't know about that. There you go.
So I want to ask you about two things. One is your actual lawn care business, your plans in the spring, and then two, the other thing is you had the Launchpreneur Academy.
Yeah.
That I went to. It was an awesome experience, man. I learned so much there, and
Thanks. It was a good time. Thanks for speaking at it.
you're doing that again this year.
Yeah. November 7th, I think it's Saturday. We're gonna do same thing, maybe like 20% bigger. We got a different room because we were busting at the seams at the last one. There's going to be so many more announcements, but yeah, November 7th, Saturday. Hoping to have you in speaking again. I've already talked to you behind the scenes a little bit, and dude, it's going to be really, really cool. Hopefully get Stan there again, a couple other guys. We're going to rotate a few speakers. Not that they didn't do a good job. They did an amazing job, but just, change it up, keep it fresh. It was really good. Yeah, lawn care season's coming up, dude. I don't mind winter, like I said. I definitely am more of a grass cutting guy, I like making the money of snow. It's just, it's so hit or miss sometimes. But yeah, I run a maintenance business, man. I love cutting grass. I love being out there. It sounds so cliche. Even like this will be our 13th or 14th season, but like it's still like one of those I've never felt like I've worked a day in my life, deals. Like I love cutting grass. I've never been. I woke up one day and I'm like, I'm done with this. I don't like mowing. And yeah, we tote the camera around with us, 2-3 days a week, and try to capture some content while we're out there mowing. Just capture videos and edit that late nights and weekends. And but yeah, dude, I love cutting grass. Now, you said like spring's right around the corner. That's always debatable. In Michigan, we don't get like the nicer weather till June. So I see the guys right now on Instagram. I'm watching them in Texas, and Florida. They're already starting back up. I'm like, we're not going to be mowing grass for dude, for real. Like, I'm like, we're not even going to be mowing until end of April, early May at best. Like, it's just Michigan. It's the Midwest. So like these guys in Texas, they're all like, yeah, I just got my new mower. We're going to go lay some stripes this week. I'm like, right now it's like early February. It's actually Valentine's Day. So our wives are hanging out together. They said, screw you guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, Valentine's Day.
You can do anything tonight for the girl?
Every Valentine's Day, yeah, we
We
go out to dinner at this nice Italian restaurant down the street.
Ooh.
And I buy my wife roses and a card, and we spend the whole evening together.
I love it. I love it. Liz and I told her, hey, we're doing dinner tonight at 6, actually with a friend of mine, Mike Bedell, and we're a really nice steakhouse that Mike introduced me to, and it's way above my pay grade, and but it's really, really good food, some of the best food in Michigan. It's called the Big Rock, like steak and lobster. It's super good. But I'm like, hey, do you have anything going on in the morning? She's like, no. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go do a podcast or two with Keith on the east side, and I'm leaving at 8 a.m. She's like, what? I'm like, bye. So anyway, we're working today, man. No days off. TGIF. The grind includes Friday.
The grind includes Friday.
Yee.
Hey, I want to ask you about lawn care. My first couple years in my landscape business, I did cut grass my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I started cutting grass naturally when I had my business. And I was doing maintenance and lawn care. And I had to start pushing all my lawns to Sunday.
Oh, wow.
I was going out and doing them a Saturday and Sunday on the weekends.
Sure.
And then I had so much request for landscaping installs and maintenance that my lawns became this huge pain in the ass.
Sure.
So I literally gave them all away.
Right.
And I went full blown into, and I never thought that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, how do you make money doing lawn care? Like, unless you have really strict route density, and how long does it take to build your business to the point where you have that route density and now you're just dominating those neighborhoods?
Well, I mean, super good question. I mean, it's so dynamic. We've tried to do a couple videos on these topics, you know, on YouTube. And I think we even did one together when we were hanging out at a hotel together. And it was probably just a few videos back on your channel, like maybe or the same time last year, to be honest with you. You know, here's the deal. There's not a ton of potential profit in maintenance, right? Like you said, you might make, you know, less margins than a landscaping job or brick paver patios. So it's one of those volume things for sure. Like if you're not doing volume, it's hard to keep up. But I've also just said, you know what, I'm going to focus on one thing. We're really hardcore maintenance. Like we do cut 30, 35, 40 lawns a day. Now, of course, you have to have that hyper route density to do that. And so a little bit of context.
35 to 40?
Oh yeah, dude, we crush it. Like we don't even rack the mower. Like there's times we drop it off at 8, we rack it at noon, we go to lunch for 35, 45 minutes at Jimmy John's, we come back, we drop the mower, and I just literally shuttle house to house to house to house to house to house.
Word.
Dude, totally. So here's the deal. Like it's like, oh, how can you make money on $30 or $35 cuts? Well, it's 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35. Right? And so yeah, you can do 800, 900,000 bucks a day. And we do that all day. But here's the deal, something that people like got to understand too is like if you're doing landscaping, it's kind of tough to like come home and like edit YouTube videos if you're doing landscaping. That's something I give people that do landscaping like tons of credit to do YouTube behind the scenes because, you know, when I get done at 6 o'clock, you know, I kind of cash out my office on my yard books, you know what I mean? And I'm like, hey, here's everything that I got going on for the day, any special notes, so on and so forth. But like, you know, you do landscaping or patios, all this mess, you got to come home and do quotes for 2 hours. You got to price stuff, bid stuff, go to nurseries, you know, do the whole deal. I don't do any of that mess. God bless those people. Now, you know, again, some people are like, yeah, I just did a $4,500 landscape install and, you know, it took 2.5 days, you know, and they like net $1,800. I'm like, well, I'm mowing, you know, $900 a day. It's the same thing. But, you know, so anyway, mowing is not for everybody. I know that. I like mowing. But I think if you want to do mowing and do it right, you'd have to have that route density for sure. But dude, there's still stuff that we do like landscaping, like we'll do pruning, mulching, just a lot of the simple stuff. We don't get super fancy just because, you know, I know my lane, if you will, but I love hardscaping, love brick paver patios, love outdoor living spaces, love all that mess. But I just know like, hey, we're a maintenance business. You know, I've been doing this for a decade. My clients are used to a system. I'm used to a system. My employees are used to a system. My billing is all down. Like I've got everything kind of systematized and I know what to expect, you know? And so, and plus it just fits into our lifestyle too. You know, like Liz and I want a little bit more predictability. We want to start a family this year, do the whole deal. And so at the end of the day, like you have to figure out what works best for you. You know, so if you're a 19-year-old kid, you might not want to cut grass all day. I totally get that. You're like, I want to use big, you know, $5,000, $25,000 landscape installs and, you know, patios. Dude, that's awesome. You know, the older you get, the less chance that you probably want to do all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that makes some sense. But little awkward silence here as Keith's taking photos. This guy's a social media guru and superstar. I should probably be doing the exact same thing, but